From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, progress continues to be made on 2 COVID-19 vaccines. What one doctor says distribution could look like when it's available to the public. More schools unable to hold in-person classes because of COVID-19. The latest district making the switch to e-learning and how parents are reacting. And school districts are also taking a financial hit from this pandemic. We'll take a look at the multi-million-dollar deficit IPS is facing because of enrollment. But first, here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is joining me in studio today with a check of our forecast, and it is a cold start, Todd.
It is, Lauren. Temperatures are in the 20s in some locations, and that is in Terre Haute, as you see behind me, 36 in Indy, below freezing in Bloomington at 30 degrees. And yesterday, I was kind of touting that this was the coldest morning we would see, and I still think it will be. But we don't have the widespread 20s out there right now, and that's because there's a little bit of thin cloud cover that's actually helping us out. I'll show you how thin that band is of cloud cover in just a second. The wind has really calmed down as well, so we are not figuring in too much in the way of wind chills here this morning. So it's a pretty quiet start to our Wednesday. But here is that band of cloud cover. It's only probably about 75 miles wide, but where Terre Haute is clear or where Bloomington is clear, the temperatures are in the 20s where the clouds are in place. That's why your temperatures are in the 30s. But as soon as this cloud band moves out, I am expecting the temperatures in a lot of locations here this morning to still get into the 20s before they start to climb. But back off to our west, clear skies. That's what we'll enjoy throughout the course of the day today. It's another bright day for us with lots of sunshine. The wind will pick up a little bit as the day goes on, but overall not bad at all. 30s here through about 10 a.m. and then we're into the mid-40s by the noon hour with high temperatures this afternoon, Lauren. Very seasonable, topping off in the low 50s.
Todd, thank you. Let's get a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. Here's a live look at I-70 out near Cumberland Road. You can see traffic moving eastbound and westbound is traveling up to speed to our east right now. No major crashes or issues to slow down your commute, but of course we'll keep a close eye on your roads throughout the morning commute and keep you updated. Now to the latest on COVID-19. Indiana setting a grim record after a spike in deaths from the virus. The State Department of Health reports 84 more Hoosiers have died. That brings Indiana's death toll to more than 4,700. Already this month, 676 deaths have been confirmed. That's more than double the number in September. 5,541 new cases were also reported. Indiana has confirmed more than 262,000 total cases since the pandemic began. This afternoon, the governor of Indiana is expected to give an update on the spread in Indiana's counties. This is the current map, and it shows the counties in red there. Those are, and most of the others are in orange. Under the new statewide restrictions, these color-coded categories limit the amount of people allowed at social gatherings. Orange allows no more than 50 people. Red is at 25. Again, the status of each county will be updated around 2:30 this afternoon, and we'll be streaming the governor's press conference on WRTV.com and also on the WRTV Facebook page. Some hospitals continue to struggle with the spike in COVID patients, and Columbus Regional Health in Bartholomew County says they are being especially overwhelmed. COVID hospitalizations have nearly tripled in the past 2 weeks. Their dedicated COVID unit is at capacity right now, and officials are looking for ways to add more beds and resources. Staffing is also a major issue.
We need to free up beds, of course, but beds don't care for people. People care for people. And so we need those nurses by the bedside. We need those physicians. We need them healthy. And I think that's our greatest resource that we have to protect. So when we are urging the community to please, stay home as much as you can. If you go out, mask up, social distance, do all those things we've been hearing for the last 8 months, because it directly affects our valuable resources, which is our staff.
Well, to make more beds available, Columbus Regional Health is evaluating procedures that require an overnight stay and asking people to hold off until hospitalizations ease. The 2 COVID-19 vaccines that were announced within days of each other both have an effective rate of 90% or more. While there is progress, there is still a lot to figure out. For distribution, shipping, and storage, it's a challenge because the vaccine needs to be kept at extremely cold temperatures. The emergency department doctor, Stephen Samples, says they'll also need more companies to produce it to meet the demand, especially since both Moderna and Pfizer vaccines require 2 doses. But when it comes to getting it to communities, Dr. Samples says there's one group he believes can handle it.
I think that you're going to see a lot of National Guard members popping up clinics and stuff like that. That's just, I feel like that is a very efficient government way to distribute something. They just call up the soldiers because there are medics and doctors and nurses scattered all through.
Well, even when a vaccine eventually comes out, health officials say things won't be back to normal overnight. So it's important to continue to wear a mask and follow COVID safety guidelines. Pfizer is preparing to file emergency use authorization for its COVID-19 vaccine. That's according to the company's CEO. Last week, Pfizer announced its coronavirus vaccine appeared to be more than 90% effective based on the early data. It didn't have enough research to seek emergency use authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration at that time. But now the company says the vaccine trial has reached its safety milestone. A middle school in Muncie is closing immediately after the entire front office was exposed to COVID-19. Officials with Southside Middle School say that a staff member received a positive test last night. The entire front office staff and administration were exposed and now are in a 14-day quarantine. As a result, the school says it will be shifting to e-learning until after Thanksgiving break. After-school activities have also been canceled during this time. All other Muncie community school buildings will remain open. Hamilton Southeastern schools are also making the transition to remote learning. Starting tomorrow, pre-K through 6th graders will return to e-learning, making that district 100% virtual. HSC leaders say the strain on staffing is behind the decision. They say 94 teachers and instructional staff members requested a sub yesterday. The district's current fill rate is only about 50%. Some parents are frustrated by the short notice.
There's not a lot of time to scramble to figure out things right now. My son's in 3rd and my daughter's in kindergarten, so it isn't like you can be away from them while they do it. You have to monitor that.
Students in grades 7 through 12 at HSC are already attending class virtually. Fisher's Mayor Scott Fatness says the city will do whatever it can to help kids get back in the classroom. He announced yesterday the city will have a second expedited COVID-19 site, especially for teachers, students, and their families. We have more details on what schools qualify and how to get an appointment on our website. Go to WRTV.com. Well, the pandemic is causing budget shortfalls for school systems across our state. IPS alone is looking at a multi-million-dollar deficit. WRTV's own Rafael Sanchez reports on the budget crunch.
IPS was among the last school districts in Marion County to return to in-person learning. That, the superintendent believes, is the reason why less kindergartners enrolled this year, causing a $15.3 million deficit. The district hopes lawmakers in the January budget session will not punish schools being forced to teach remotely because of a spike in COVID-19 cases. Previously, the governor said schools should get their full funding.
I think it is highly inappropriate to incentivize school districts to make decisions based on funding and not based on the health and safety of their students.
IPS has weathered previous financial storms by closing schools, selling properties, and recently signing up with a new school bus service.
I can tell you there are not places where I can look and just cut millions of dollars without significantly impacting what happens in our school buildings every day. But that does not mean there aren't places where we can look to make different decisions and get some savings back.
In a tweet last week, the superintendent called out the legislature, asking, "I thought we were in this together," critical that face masks would not be required among lawmakers.
And I just think that is not setting a strong example. If we're going to be in this together, then I think it's important for us as leaders, myself included, to model what we expect those around us to do. And wearing a mask seems to be the least of courtesies that we can extend to one another to keep us safe and healthy.
Due to the high COVID numbers in Marion County, her 31,171 students will be back learning from home starting Monday. Working for you in Indianapolis, Rafael Sanchez, WRTV.
Rafael, thank you. Well, some states are still working to certify results for the presidential election. Coming up, the latest on the progress being made in Michigan and Georgia. And Amazon is adding prescriptions to its long list of deliveries. Still ahead, how you can use their new pharmacy feature. Todd.
And wind speed's not too much of an issue here this morning, which is a change from where we have been the past couple of days. But the wind, it is coming back. It'll pick up throughout the day today, and it comes really windy tomorrow. We'll talk about that, and I'll also look ahead to your weekend forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. It is 4:42 here on your Wednesday. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look near West Street and MLK, near the downtown area where everything is traveling up to speed. Keep in mind, if you are getting off or getting on the interstate at MLK up near 30th Street, we do have some construction on the ramps, closing those till Friday. We'll continue to keep you updated, but right now everything heading in to downtown from the north side or northwest side is traveling smoothly. Well, the saga that is the 2020 presidential election continues. In a stunning reversal, a bipartisan panel in Michigan's most populous county unanimously certified its presidential results last night. It happens hours after Republicans temporarily blocked certification. Melissa Rainey has the latest.
A bipartisan panel in Wayne County, Michigan, reversing course Tuesday night, unanimously certifying its presidential election results. The move just hours after two Republican canvassers made unverified claims of voting irregularities in Detroit. Democratic officials and nonpartisan experts immediately condemned the act, and the panel quickly changed course.
There has been no proof presented to our office or to the Board of Canvassers today of any irregularities, any widespread fraud, and any suggestion that there was is an effort to misinform the public and falsely erode the public's confidence in, again, what was a very well-run election.
The initial vote against certification drew the attention of President Donald Trump, who posted a series of tweets praising the move. The state of Georgia is on schedule to finish its audit of the presidential election by Wednesday. Election officials there say while they have found some discrepancies, those are to be expected and shouldn't change the results to favor Trump.
We found through the audit process in Walton County, an additional 176 that go towards the president right now. That still puts the margin at 12,753. And we have no indication really that there's anything broader than that. But this is why you do audits. This is to make sure that human beings, which are the most flawed part of our system, don't make errors. And that's why we have these guardrails in place to protect the integrity of the vote and the outcome of the vote.
Georgia plans to certify those results by Friday. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
At 4:45, the Food and Drug Administration has authorized the first at-home rapid COVID-19 test. The Lucera all-in-one test is available by prescription for self-diagnosis. The kit includes a sterile swab, a sample vial, a test unit, batteries, and a plastic disposal bag. The FDA says that you should use the nasal swab and then insert it into the vial, which enters the test unit for analysis. Results are displayed by a color change indicator. The FDA also authorized the test for use in doctors' offices, hospitals, urgent care centers, and emergency rooms. At 4:45, Amazon is now a drugstore. The company announcing that it's launching Amazon Pharmacy here in the U.S. It will offer commonly prescribed medications, including creams and pills, as well as medications that need to stay refrigerated, like insulin. Shoppers will have to set up a profile on Amazon's website and have their doctors send their prescriptions there. Some medications that have a high risk of being abused, like opioids, will not be shipped. Prime members will get free 2-day shipping, and most major insurance plans are accepted. Home Depot is giving thousands of its workers a raise. The company says it's giving hourly workers a permanent pay raise. Home Depot has been thriving during the pandemic, with more people staying home and spending money on projects around the house. The company says it plans to invest $1 billion annually to increase worker benefits. Well, there's one holiday tradition that's staying intact despite the global pandemic. Kids will still get to track Santa as he makes his way around the world. The North American Aerospace Defense Command says NORAD will track Santa on Christmas Eve, just as it's done for 65 years. However, it may be harder for kids to get through to the call center this year. Normally, 160 volunteers pack into a Colorado Springs Air Force base to take in calls and let kids know how close Santa is to them. Now, only about 10 volunteers will be allowed at the call center at that time. So, that is a relief, Todd. I love tracking Santa on Christmas Eve. Always a lot of fun to see the pictures and videos around the world.
Right. As the time changes too, right? You can see exactly where he is when he's coming. And the pressure's on the parents now. If they can't call in, the parents are going to have to explain where Santa is. All right, outside right now, it's pretty quiet. The winds have died down. We have a little bit of cloud cover out there this morning in spots. That's actually helping us because it's keeping the clouds or the temperatures up in places. 36 degrees with the cloudy skies here in Indianapolis, so we're not figuring in much of anything in the wind chill category, and the winds are currently calm. Temperatures range from 28 right now in Richmond to 29 in Greencastle, 28 in Terre Haute, Sullivan down to 26 degrees, Bedford down to 29. We're in the mid-30s here, though, through Lafayette, Tipton, and Greenfield. You may ask what the reason is. It's where the temperatures are in the 30s. We have clouds in place where the temperatures are in the 20s. That's where the skies are clear. These clouds will continue to move out, so I am expecting more 20s to appear on the map as we progress throughout the course of the day. Now, the winds are not an issue right now, but throughout the day, you will notice these winds start to pick up once again across the area. And it'll be a little breezy here for the noon hour, but once again, it's towards the evening hours that the winds really start to spike. The difference, though, from the past couple days when we had those northwesterly winds, notice the direction the arrows are today. The winds are coming out of the south, and that's going to start to warm our temperatures up here across the area. Again, it remains chilly this morning as we dip probably down into the 20s by 8 a.m. here in the city. But once the sun comes up, we warm pretty quickly. 40 degrees already by 11 a.m. As we work our way into the afternoon hours, 47 degrees by 2 p.m. And then high temperatures today, probably between 3 and 4 o'clock, should top off in the low 50s across the area, making it a pretty seasonable day for us. Here's that little band of cloud cover that's making its way through the area, keeping the temperatures up just a little bit. And those clouds will be with us throughout a couple hours here this morning, and then they will move out, and it's a sun-filled day. Sunset this evening is now at 5:27. Skies will be clear, but with more of a southerly wind, we will not see the temperatures drop off as quickly as we did yesterday. And when we got down into the 30s very, very quickly, and then overnight tonight, we'll be right around 40 degrees on average as you get going on your Thursday. Now, tomorrow is going to be a very mild day. We get all the way up into the 60s. But you notice these funky looking little symbols here that kind of look like fish hooks. Those are indicating very windy conditions. So while it's going to be mild, it's going to be bright. You'll notice the wind speeds tomorrow, as we show you here on our wind gust forecast, will be getting up to about 30 miles per hour in the morning. And then we could have some areas tomorrow afternoon that are seeing wind gusts right around 40 miles per hour. So it becomes very windy tomorrow. But again, the trade-off is the mild air. The weekend, I had to add in some showers on Saturday on a spotty basis. Sunday, still the better potential for showers moving through. And then next week, cooler temperatures with highs in the 40s. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. This is US 31 at Main Street up in Carmel. Good morning to you. Traffic here is pretty quiet this morning. No issues, as you can see. We'll continue, of course, to keep a close eye on your roads, let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid. It is 4:50, and a country music legend is getting credit for helping support Moderna's promising experimental vaccine. Dolly Parton's research fund was listed in the footnotes of the results report. That's because she donated millions of dollars to Vanderbilt University Medical Center for the COVID-19 research. She also urged her fans to donate. Vanderbilt ended up taking part in Moderna's vaccine trials, and as we told you earlier, it's the second coronavirus vaccine to have a high success rate. In an interview on the Today Show, Parton says, quote, "I'm just happy that anything I do can help somebody else," end quote. Well, here's a chance for you to show your appreciation to educators in this pandemic. Hallmark is now giving away 1 million thank you cards for teachers, administrators, coaches, and staff. The cards will come in packs of 3 and will include a Color It Yourself Crayola card that reads, "You make the world a better place." If you're interested in the free cards, act fast. They are available on a first come, first served basis. You can get them online at hallmark.com. Well, you can send a birthday card to Mickey and Minnie Mouse today. The classic Disney characters are both turning 92 years old. They made their big debuts in the animated movie Steamboat Willie in New York on November 18th, 1928. Here's some fun facts. Walt Disney animated privately in 1933. It said that Mickey and Minnie are married, but it's never been officially stated. And their original names were Mortimer and Minerva. This holiday season, you can spend the night in a Christmas movie classic where you can find this Home Alone themed Airbnb just after the break. And most things are being impacted by the pandemic, including child car seat safety. Coming up at 5, what a local woman is doing to inform parents despite not being able to hold typical safety events. It is 4:52. Stick around. We'll be right back. It is 4:56. Welcome back here on this Wednesday. This is I-65 at I-865 up in the Dog Leg, where traffic is traveling up to speed this morning. Not monitoring any crashes for your commute, but of course we'll keep a close eye on your roads this morning and keep you updated. If you know what it means to eat junk and watch rubbish, this Airbnb in Dallas is your kind of place for Christmas. That line is from the movie Home Alone, which is the theme of this rental that is available all over the holidays. Its owner tried to replicate everything you can see in the movie to a T. That includes mannequins moving in the window and a spider in one of the rooms. Renters also get cheese pizza delivery like Kevin does in the film. It's only available for a limited time, though, through the end of January for $149 a night. Todd, I know you haven't been able to go on as many trips as you would like this year. Here you go.
There you go, right?
Yeah, use those vacation days.
And I like Home Alone as well.
I know.
Hard to believe it was 30 years ago. Remember me telling you that came out, right? Jeez. All right, outside right now we are dealing with pretty quiet conditions. You'll have to bundle up a bit this morning with temperatures in the 20s and 30s, but up to 52 later on this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. It does become a little breezy as we get going into the afternoon hours. Tomorrow's a windy day. That's what that funky looking icon is on Thursday with a high of 63. Next chance of rain doesn't arrive till Saturday. The time now is 4:57. Raphael joins Lauren and I coming up at the top of the hour. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.